Hey guys, it's Jynnette with Anderson Alchemy, here to give you your tarot forecast for the month of February 2018. This is for the sign of Cancer. So if you have a Cancer rising, sun, or moon, this is going to be for you. If you haven't had a chance to check out the January 2018 forecast, be sure to check that out to see how the year is starting off for you. I am still currently taking bookings for 2018 forecasts. So if you want to do a tarot or astrology or a combination of both, you can do so by booking a session on my website, andersonalchemy.com. All right, so I decided to do something different this month because we do have a new moon solar eclipse happening halfway through the month. And so I wanted to touch base with Spirit on the primary theme that will be an aspect of your life over the next 6 months that this, eclipse will be evolving into once it culminates in the lunar eclipse over the summer, and as well as look at the 4 primary areas of life to get a sense of how that's also going to shape up for you. And then we'll jump into each week of the month to see what is going to be unfolding. So let's jump right into it, okay? So, of course, I pulled an oracle card to get a sense of the overall energy for the month. And you actually got the card Knowledge, okay? So whenever I see this card, I always think of the pyramids and like deep hidden knowledge that you have access to, both divine feminine, divine masculine, and deeply esoteric, okay? So there is some theme around this that's still playing out for you over the next 6 months. I know that all the cardinal signs and especially all the water energy has been going through massive spiritual and transformation on the soul level. But now you basically are being tasked with taking all the information and knowledge that you've gained over the past 6 months or even the past year and implementing that and practicing that knowledge over the next 6 months, okay? So, yes, you are a master, but you also have to walk out that mastery in the material realm and understand to give yourself the time to do this. You have 6 months. It doesn't have to happen tomorrow. So definitely be patient with yourself, okay? Now, in the area of health and wellness over the next 6 months with this eclipse, we have the 7 of Pentacles. So this is an energy of, understanding that you've gotten to a certain point in your process and taking care of your physical health and your, sleep and food, all that kind of stuff. And now you're really having to look at where you truly need to tweak to be able to take it to the next level, and to do so in a very grounded and methodical way so that you don't overwhelm yourself, and do it in such a way that you can actually maintain it for the future, okay? 7 of Pentacles talks about when you get to that place in life when you are wondering if you should keep going on or if you should cut your losses and kind of start over. I would say with this, especially because this is related to the this card was pulled in relation to the eclipse. This is about starting a new cycle. So you are almost finished with this journey of being able to transform your body, mind, and spirit in a way that you want. So keep focused and keep working on that. Okay? Don't give up. Now, in the financial realm, you actually have the Knight of Cups. So Cups is also really good. Cups and Pentacles is great for finances because it speaks about general prosperity and abundance, and in particular opportunities that are available to you. Now with the Knight, this can talk about offers coming to you or action steps that you need to take in order to continue to grow yourself financially. And this may come into play with the Knowledge card of being able to leverage the knowledge that you do have to maximize the opportunities of financial abundance that you do have. Now, because you do have a court card, this does mean that there will be particular people who will be key to helping you create and amass this wealth. But this is also an indication to you to be effective with your time and your efforts as opposed to just being busy, okay? But it is definitely positive because anytime you have a night, it talks about activity happening. So the next 6 months predominantly, there's going to be a lot of financial activity happening for you. Now, in terms of your relationships, interestingly enough, you have the Queen of Wands. And I get the sense that this is actually an embodiment that you're going to have over the next 6 months of basically being the center of attention, which is not necessarily something that Cancer primarily is comfortable with, but they do actually secretly enjoy it when they sit in their power. And the Queen of Wands is someone who sits in her power. And I don't know if you can notice here, but she actually sits here, quote unquote, like a man. She has her legs spread open, it's covered, but, she's definitely there. She's comfortable in her own skin. So I think in terms of relationships, this is particularly speaking to the fact that you are more likely going to be at a place, or at least you'll have a chance to practice making sure that your personal needs are being met, your personal pleasures being met, your sexual needs are being met, all those kinds of things. You're going to be more apt to demand that more now than you may have in the past, okay? And then if you already operate from this space, then this may mean somebody comes into your life over the next 6 months who matches you in that power. And then finally, in terms of spiritual development, you have the Tower card, which is a major arcana. So this to me immediately tells me that you are going to have some aspect of spiritual initiation that comes through. Now, what I would say most likely for you, because you are the sign that's ruled by the moon, is most likely going to be happening around the eclipses. So either around the eclipse in the month of February or over the summer, because there's actually going to be 3 eclipses back to back from July into August. And that's also going to be overlaying with your birthday time. So most likely some type of spiritual initiation or revelation comes through there. And if it's not on those specific time periods, then it might just be something related to, a regular new moon or full moon during the month. But regardless, I'm getting more so spiritual initiation, revelation that comes through spiritually for you, okay? Now, in terms of the month of February itself, in the first week, you have the 8 of Wands. So this actually makes sense because, and you probably feel this too as a Cancer, that when you have full moon energy, which we actually have a lunar eclipse that happened right at the last day of January. But even like that full week after full moon, you still feel a lot of powerful energy. So this to me actually seems to be more residual from that lunar eclipse that we just had at the end of the month. And the 8 of Wands is about rapid movement, a lot of communication, networking, talking, creative, inspiration that kind of like gets going. So I think this is going to be a whirlwind time for you that right at the beginning of the month. And then in the second week, as we shift out of that high gear and start to move into the solar eclipse, which is a new moon, which is a time actually of release and a resetting before you build up activity, you have the 4 of Cups. This makes perfect sense for you as a water sign because this talks about you most likely feeling in a place of emotional apathy or balance, or just really wanting to be still, especially after having a week of massive activity from this card here. This makes sense. What I'm also getting from this card is an assessment of offers that are coming to you and really being cognizant of what you're going to choose to say yes to moving forward. So this is actually a really pivotal time leading into the eclipse and halfway through the month of really being conscientious about the new cycles or contracts or agreements that you're going to commit to. Now, in the third week, which is that time leading right after the eclipse, you have the Death card. Okay, so massive transformation. This is about releasing, again, those things that no longer serve you, whether people, places, things, jobs, what have you, so that you can make way for the new. And, this may be what this Tower experience is, if it's something material. But again, because the Death card represents Scorpio, this may actually just be something more spiritual for you. Because I'm actually not getting any other sense of a material thing that it could be relating to. I think this is actually going to be more a spiritual release of things that don't work. And then lastly, you have the King of Cups at the end of the month. So this could be you because it is a water energy, or it could be someone else that steps in who has these qualities. So, it could be, someone who's Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or this could be you yourself. But if it's you, this is talking about you after having gone through this mini death process of, shifting and healing and releasing, you feeling like you are fully on your throne, really grounded, really in your power, and looking forward, because he is actually from here. He's looking forward into the future from a great balanced place, even though there's rocky waters all around him. He's solid. So that is amazing for you. Now, if this is not you and somebody who comes in, this is definitely someone who is in a position of power, either within themselves or, in the material world. They are emotionally grounded, emotionally available, and very considerate about your emotional needs. So whether this is, a potential friend, business partner, or even relationship option, this is good. And I actually like this because, this is someone who would be an equal to this character, okay? If this is going to be how you show up in relationships, this is a great energy that you should be able to accept, because this is someone who has their stuff together, right? Okay, so Cancer. Looks like this is going to be a great month for you. I'm excited about that because I myself am a Cancer. So let me get this camera. I myself am a Cancer, so I'm actually pretty interested to see how this is going to play out. And I know how much the eclipses affect me personally, so this does kind of make sense, and I'm excited to see what the future holds. Definitely leave a comment below about how this plays out for you, especially around the eclipse. I'd be curious to see what kind of gets cleared out of your life, if you feel open to sharing it with me. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. And like I said, if you want to book a session, you can do so on my website, andersonalchemy.com. And if you're not already following me on Instagram or Facebook, please do so. I do weekly tarot and astrology forecasts, okay? I love you so much. Have a phenomenal month. It looks like you will. And I will see you next time. Bye.